Welcome to the Online Digital Marketing Podcast. We'll be discussing marketing strategies, trends, and tips that will help your business succeed in the digital age. Every episode, we'll be interviewing industry professionals and providing valuable insights on how to leverage digital tools for maximum engagement and ROI. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest trends in online marketing.
Okay, so you're into email marketing.
Yeah.
You've got that audio file. It's full of hacks.
Right.
But how do we actually use them?
Yeah, how to get results.
How to get results. That's what this deep dive is all about today.
Less theory, more turning those tips into strategies you can actually use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actionable advice.
Yeah.
And this deep dive, this audio source, is all about email marketing. And it very smartly starts with building your list. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's something you need to do before you even think about lead magnets.
That's right. Before we even think about lead magnets.
Before you even think about lead magnets.
It's like prepping the runway before the jet takes off.
Okay.
This audio called it warming up your IP address. It's all about keeping your emails out of the spam folder.
Okay, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
what does that actually look like?
Think of email providers like super strict bouncers.
Okay.
Guarding the inbox, right?
Yeah.
A good IP reputation is your VIP pass. Sending consistently, even to a small engaged list at first, proves you're the real deal. You're not some fly-by-night spammer.
So like my mom, who is on my email list
Right.
and loves me very much.
Yes, exactly.
She actually does help my email marketing.
She does, by being that loyal opener.
She's like my built-in, like
Yes.
my opener, my clicker.
Exactly. Friends and family, while small in number, become those early positive signals
Oh, wow.
that tell algorithms, hey, this sender is legit.
That's a serious mindset shift. I always thought it was just about like stuffing my list,
Right.
not like this warming up phase.
Exactly. And it's more about playing the long game. A strong foundation means those carefully crafted emails actually reach the inbox.
That makes a lot of sense.
And speaking of which, the audio source dives into attracting subscribers with lead magnets.
Yeah.
But they caution against making them too irresistible.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Right.
Because you would think, oh, I want like the best freebie
Right.
to get people on my list.
But you want quality over quantity.
Okay.
The audio source calls it finding the Goldilocks offer, enticing enough for the right people, but not so amazing that you just attract freebie seekers who are going to vanish after they get it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
So it's like instead of like, I don't know, like a whole ebook,
Right.
it's like a checklist.
Exactly. A shorter, instantly valuable resource will attract those who are genuinely interested in what you have to offer,
What?
not just the next free thing.
That's so smart.
And this ties into the psychology of perceived value. A shorter resource can actually be more appealing because it respects the user's time.
I see.
So it's kind of interesting how that works.
Wow, I'm already seeing how much strategy goes into this.
Right.
So, okay, we've got the warm IP address.
Yeah.
We've got the killer lead magnet.
Mm-hmm.
What about actually getting those emails opened?
Yes.
Because that's
where crafting compelling content comes in.
okay.
And the audio source had some really fascinating insights on this.
Hit me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I am so guilty
Yeah.
of the boring newsletter format.
I think we all are. It's really easy to fall into that trap.
Yes.
But the first tip is about the power of storytelling.
Okay.
People connect with narratives.
Yeah.
Instead of just listing features, weave those features into a story about how your product or service solves a real problem for a real person.
So instead of being like, my course is going to make you the best writer,
Right.
it's like, this person took my course,
Yes.
and then they wrote for this magazine.
Exactly. Make it relatable, make it human, make them see themselves in that success story.
Powerful.
Right.
Now, what about personalization?
Yes.
Because I have heard such mixed reviews on whether, like,
Right.
using someone's name.
Right. Does it actually work?
Does it actually work?
Does it actually make a difference?
Yes.
And the audio source actually had a very surprising take on this. It's not just about dropping their name in the subject line.
Okay.
It's about tailoring the content itself based on their past behavior.
Wait, so, like, if they clicked a link
Yes.
that I sent them in a previous email,
Yes.
and that link was about productivity,
Exactly.
send them more productivity stuff.
Yes. That's next level personalization. And it shows you're paying attention. You're not just blasting out these generic messaging.
Okay, mind blown.
Right.
Okay, so we're basically saying it's all about being strategic
Yes.
and making those subscribers feel seen.
Exactly.
Okay, now I'm also wondering, because you talked about reaching the inbox.
Yes.
You talked about, the lead magnet,
Yeah.
crafting that compelling content.
Right.
What about expanding beyond that initial email?
Yes, absolutely. And the audio source had one method that really resonated with me.
Okay.
It was the audacity of simply asking.
Asking for what? Like, write me a love letter.
Not quite, but kind of. Asking for things like whitelisting, sharing the email with a friend, or even a simple follow on social media can be surprisingly effective.
You mean like literally saying, hey, if you like this,
If you dug this, pass it along.
pass it along?
Exactly.
Oh.
It feels almost too easy, but the psychology behind it is powerful.
Okay.
People are much more receptive when they're given a clear and easy action to take.
And we all love to feel like we're in the know
Exactly.
and we're sharing something valuable.
Of course. And it's like,
Yeah, it's like social proof.
it's built-in social proof.
Do they have any examples of this in action?
They do. They brought up brain pickings,
Okay.
which, if you remember, started as a simple email newsletter.
Right.
And it's grown into a massive online platform
Well,
by, consistently providing top-notch content
yeah.
and then asking their engaged readers to share it.
Okay. That's huge.
Yeah.
So it really shows that, building that real connection
Yeah.
with your audience and then directly asking for their help
Yeah.
in growing can lead to incredible results.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is big.
It proves that email marketing isn't just about these flashy tactics.
Right.
It's about fostering a community
Yes.
around shared interests
Yeah.
and providing value.
Which I love. And speaking of nurturing those relationships,
Yes.
the audio source also had some smart strategies for re-engaging subscribers who might have gone quiet.
Who've gone a little quiet.
Yes, our sleepy subscribers.
Exactly. Our sleepy subscribers. What did the source suggest?
Yeah, how do we wake them up?
How do we wake them up? Well, giveaways,
Okay.
but not just to attract new people. They can actually be even more effective for waking up your existing list.
So it's like a little reward for sticking around.
It's exactly. It's a little reward for sticking around. It shows you value them.
Yeah.
It rekindles their interest.
Okay.
And it reminds them why they signed up in the first place.
It's like, hey, remember me.
Hey, remember me. I'm still here. I'm still awesome.
I'm still valuable. I'm not just trying to sell you all the time.
Exactly. And it's like the opposite of those spammy BUY now emails that we all hate.
Which, yeah, nobody likes those.
Right. Nobody likes those.
But a giveaway.
Right.
Everybody likes a giveaway.
Everybody likes a giveaway.
So, okay, we're getting strategic.
Yes.
And this whole idea of like giving without expecting anything back.
Right.
It's like
It's a novel concept.
it is a novel concept.
But it works.
Because all those spammy emails, it's like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this.
Yes, it's all about them.
And it's like, well, what about me?
And this brings us back to a point we touched on earlier, respecting your subscribers' time.
Right, which is essentially what we're talking about with the giveaway. It's like we
Exactly.
value you.
Yes.
We want to give you something.
Instead of constantly asking.
Yes.
And this ties into their next point, which is about offering value. The audio had an interesting take on leveraging your email schedule to build anticipation.
Oh, interesting. Okay, how so?
So it's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs
Oh.
leading to your next email.
I see.
If you've been consistently sending valuable content, people are going to start to anticipate that next email.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do
But
that?
how do you build that anticipation?
Yes.
The audio source suggests giving your subscribers a little sneak peek
Oh,
of what's coming up next,
like a preview.
like a preview of the main event.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
It could be a teaser for your next blog post, a hint about a new product launch, or even just a promise of a special offer in the next email.
Oh, so instead of just saying like new blog post,
Yeah.
it's like discover the #1 secret to blank.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You got it. You piqued their curiosity. You gave them a reason to open that email as soon as it hits their inbox.
This is brilliant. Okay, so I'm ready to like take my email marketing to the next level.
Yes.
The audio source also talks about this IDA format
Oh,
for crafting emails that sell.
This is a really important one.
Okay, what is that?
So IDEA, it stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. It's a classic marketing formula that translates beautifully to the world of email.
Okay, so break that down for me.
Imagine you're writing an email about, let's just say, a course you're selling. Okay.
Okay, got
The
it.
first thing you need to do is grab their attention, right? So a compelling subject line or that opening line in your email.
Like, is this the reason you're not reaching your goals?
Ooh. See, you got it.
Yeah.
You've piqued their interest. Now you want to dive deeper into their interest by highlighting a problem that they might be facing or a desire that they have.
Okay.
In this case, it's the desire to achieve their goals, right?
So talk about all the things that they want.
Yes. Talk about the frustrations of feeling stuck,
Yeah.
the longing to make progress, and then desire. You need to make them crave the solution that you're offering.
So I come in, I'm like, I got the roadmap.
I've got the roadmap, I've got the support, I've got the strategies that you need.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. It's going to get you there.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to hold your hand. I'm not going to do that, but,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
depending on the course. But, yeah, paint a picture of their success.
Okay, so you get them there, and then what?
And then action. You have to inspire action.
That's the call to action.
That's it. That's where the call to action comes in. Enroll now. Let's do this. You've guided them through the entire journey.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Like, we're taking a journey together.
Exactly. You've taken them by the hand. You've walked them through this whole thing.
Come with me.
And then you're giving them that final little nudge to take action.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay. So this idea format is super powerful.
It's very powerful.
I could see how that creates like a much more
Yeah.
persuasive experience for the reader.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm writing this down. What about those times, though, where we just need to make like a quick request?
Right.
Like, will you whitelist my email address?
Right.
Is there...
And the audio source mentioned this too. And in those cases, sometimes directness is best.
Okay.
Like, rip off the Band-Aid.
So, like, instead of dancing around it, just be like, hey, if you love these emails, why don't you whitelist me so you don't miss out?
Add me to your contacts. Make sure these emails don't go to spam.
Don't miss out. Yeah.
Exactly. Be straightforward. Be helpful.
Okay.
And be authentic.
Be authentic. Okay. So I want to ask you, with all this talk about crafting the perfect email,
Right.
is there a perfect way to design them, like visually?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a great question. And it's one that the audio source actually had a very surprising answer to.
Okay. Hit me.
They actually recommend keeping your email formatting clean, simple,
Okay.
and surprisingly, text-based.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I thought all those, like,
The visually stunning HTML template.
yeah, all the graphics.
The graphics, the fancy fonts, all that.
I thought that was what we were supposed to be doing.
Well, and those can work.
Okay.
But the audio source argues that sometimes those overly designed emails can actually trigger spam filters.
Whoa, okay.
So that's something to keep in mind.
That makes sense.
And what's more, a simple text-based email can actually feel more personal and authentic,
Okay.
like a message from a friend.
It's like those handwritten notes that you get.
Exactly.
You're like, ooh, somebody sat down and handwrote this.
And remember, building genuine connections, that should be at the heart of all your email marketing efforts.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so less is more.
Sometimes less is more when it comes to email design.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this split testing thing,
Yes.
because this sounds like something that, every email marketer should be doing.
I agree.
But I'll admit, I don't really know what it is.
So split testing is essentially about running experiments to see what resonates best with your audience.
Got it.
It's like having this data-driven feedback loop
Okay.
that's constantly telling you what's working, what's not working.
So sending out two different versions of an email.
Exactly. You could test different subject lines,
Okay.
different calls to action,
Okay.
email layouts, sending times,
And so, yeah,
all the different pieces.
all the different pieces. The audio source really emphasizes that split testing takes the guesswork out of email marketing.
Because
Because
you're not just like,
shooting in the dark.
exactly. It's like taking the pulse of your audience and making sure that your message is actually hitting the mark.
So where do we even start?
They recommend starting with your subject lines.
Okay.
Because, after all, if people aren't opening your emails,
It doesn't matter.
nothing else matters.
Right. Nothing else matters.
Test different lengths, different word choices, even emojis to see what's going to grab your audience's attention.
Oh, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
I'm already coming up with different subject lines in my head.
Yeah.
Switching gears a tiny bit. The audio source also touched on a point about calculating how much you can spend
Right.
on paid advertising based on your email list conversion rate.
Yes, and this is all about understanding the lifetime value of your subscribers.
Okay.
If you know how much profit you make, on average, from each subscriber over the long term, you can determine how much you're willing to spend to acquire a new subscriber through paid advertising.
So if I know that on average, each subscriber on my list is worth, say, $100 to my business
Right.
over the lifetime of, however long they're on my list,
Yeah.
then I could spend, like, I don't know, $10 on acquiring a new subscriber.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to make that back.
You're going to make it back. It takes the guesswork out of setting your advertising budget.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Because it's always a little...
It's always scary.
It is scary. It's like,
How much do I spend?
how much do I spend?
Is this going to work?
Is this worth it?
But if you know your numbers,
Okay.
it gives you so much more confidence.
This has been really eye-opening. Like, we've covered a lot.
We have.
The technical, and then also just, like, the psychology.
The psychology of persuasion.
Yes.
Email marketing is a trip.
It really is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should touch on?
I think we've covered a lot.
Okay.
But there is one more gem from the audio source that I think is worth revisiting. The audio source emphasizes the importance of having a clear call to action in every email.
Yes.
But I don't think we've fully explored why that is so crucial.
It's all about giving the reader a next step.
Yes.
Even if we're not explicitly selling something.
Exactly. Whether it's visiting your website, leaving a comment, following you on social media, or even just hitting reply to continue the conversation.
Oh.
You want to make it as easy as possible for people to engage with you.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Because sometimes I think we forget that it's just about, like, continuing to have a conversation.
And a call to action doesn't always have to be this big, scary...
By now.
Yeah.
Spend money.
Yeah, exactly. It can just be, what are your thoughts on this?
What do you think? I like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So it's all about guiding them on their journey with us.
Okay.
Not just leaving them stranded at a dead end.
I like that.
Right.
No dead end.
And this brings us back to one of the most important takeaways from this entire deep dive.
Which is...
It all comes back to building relationships. Yeah.
It's about building relationships.
Okay.
That's what it's all about. It's so easy to get caught up in the open rates and the click-throughs and all of that stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
Yes.
email marketing
It's people.
is about fostering genuine human connection.
It's about people. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not treating the people on our email lists like numbers.
No.
These are actual humans.
They are humans.
Yes.
With feelings.
With feelings.
And dreams.
Okay.
And aspirations.
Yes.
And they want to connect with us.
Okay, I love where your head's at.
Good.
So how do we do this?
Well, and that brings me to a point that, well, not explicitly stated in the audio source,
Okay.
kind of weaves its way through every single recommendation.
Uh-huh.
And it's this idea of staying curious.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. You know,
Tell me more.
the most successful email marketers, they're not just following some static playbook. They're constantly learning,
Okay.
experimenting,
Yes.
adapting to the ever-changing digital landscape.
You've always got to be learning.
You always have to be learning. It's not enough to just master the hacks. You have to be willing to evolve alongside your audience.
So pay attention to what's going on in the world.
Pay attention to what's resonating in your niche.
Okay.
What are people talking about? What problems are they facing?
Right.
What new platforms are emerging? The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to craft emails that truly connect.
That's where the split testing comes in.
Exactly. Split test everything.
Oh my gosh.
It's like having a direct line to your audience's preferences.
Yeah. Test. Okay, love it.
Test. You might be surprised.
Speaking of the surprises,
Yes.
you were saying earlier that shaking things up can actually be a good thing.
Yeah.
Didn't the audio source
Yes.
really emphasize consistency?
They did. Consistency is crucial
Okay.
for building trust and predictability. However,
Ooh, here we go. I like the howevers.
I think there is room for what I like to call strategic inconsistency.
Okay, you've got to explain this because
Go
this is
ahead.
good. Think about your own inbox.
Okay.
You probably have a few senders
Yeah.
whose emails you're like,
Yes.
oh yeah, this is going to be good.
Give it to me.
Right. Hit me with your best shot. But even with those favorites, there's always the risk of slipping into a predictable pattern.
So it's like, even if the content's good, even if the content is amazing,
If it's always the same, it's like,
it gets to be like white noise.
yeah, you're not paying attention.
It's background noise.
Okay, so strategic inconsistency.
Okay, so this is where it gets good, right?
Okay.
Occasionally break your own pattern.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Whether it's just sending an email on a different day,
Oh, interesting.
trying a completely new content format,
Okay.
or even just switching up your subject line style,
Okay.
you can recapture your audience's attention.
So you don't want to be formulaic.
Don't be afraid to change it up.
Okay, I like that. But also stay consistent.
Stay consistent with your value.
Okay, got it.
Stay consistent with your brand.
So it's like that, yeah, finding that sweet spot between predictability,
Predictability.
but then also like a little
Surprise!
surprise. Like, what's it going to be today?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I like it.
Keep them on their toes.
Okay, so we've got to keep them on their toes.
Keep them on their toes.
We've got to respect their time.
Respect their time, yes.
Give them, really clear calls to action.
Clear calls to action, yes. And remember, a call to action doesn't always have to be about making a purchase. It can be as simple as hit reply and tell me what you think about this.
What do you think?
Right.
Just start a conversation.
Start a conversation.
I like it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's about human connection.
Yes.
We're not building email lists.
Yeah.
We're building communities.
I love that. Communities.
Right. Don't be afraid to let your personality shine through in your emails.
Okay.
Be authentic. Be engaging. Be human.
Okay, this has been an amazing deep dive.
It has.
We really went beyond the surface of it.
Level, yes.
Of like those email marketing hacks.
The 5 hacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we really got into the psychology,
We
the
did.
strategy,
Oh, yeah.
and the art of connecting with your audience through the inbox.
Because it is an art.
It is.
It's not just a science.
Okay, so before we wrap up,
Yes.
because we've gone over so much,
Yes, we have.
is there one thing
Ooh, that's a good question.
that you would leave our listeners with? Like, if they take away one thing
One name.
from this whole conversation?
I would say never stop learning.
Okay.
Never stop experimenting.
I love that.
Right. Don't be afraid to try new things.
Oh, that's so good.
Right.
Because a lot of times we get scared.
We get scared. We get in our heads.
You're like, oh, is this going to work?
What if it doesn't work? What if they hate it?
But that's part of the process.
But that's the thing. Like,
Fail fast.
failure is just a stepping stone to success.
Yes.
And this really ties into this idea of email marketing as relationship building. You're building relationships. That's what it all comes down to. It's so easy to get caught up in the open rates and the click-throughs and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, email marketing is about fostering genuine human connection. It's about people. We're not treating the people on our email lists like numbers. These are actual humans with feelings and dreams and aspirations, and they want to connect with us. And that brings me to a point that, while not explicitly stated in the audio source, kind of weaves its way through every single recommendation. And it's this idea of staying curious. The most successful email marketers, they're not just following some static playbook. They're constantly learning, experimenting, adapting to the ever-changing digital landscape. It's not enough to just master the hacks. You have to be willing to evolve alongside your audience. So pay attention to what's resonating in your niche, what people are talking about, what problems are they facing, what new platforms are emerging. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to craft emails that truly connect. That's where the split testing comes in. Split test everything. It's like having a direct line to your audience's preferences. Speaking of surprises, you were saying earlier that shaking things up can actually be a good thing. Didn't the audio source really emphasize consistency?
They did.
Consistency is crucial for building trust and predictability. However, I think there is room for what I like to call strategic inconsistency.
Okay, you've got to explain this because this is good.
Okay, think about your own inbox. You probably have a few senders whose emails you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Give it to me. Hit me with your best shot.
Yes.
But even with those favorites, there's always the risk of slipping into a predictable pattern.
So it's like, even if the content's good, if it's always the same.
Even if the content is amazing, it gets to be like white noise. It's background noise.
Okay, so how do we do strategic inconsistency?
Okay, so this is where it gets good, right? Occasionally, break your own pattern. Whether it's just sending an email on a different day, trying a completely new content format, or even just switching up your subject line style, you can recapture your audience's attention.
So you don't want to be formulaic.
Don't be afraid to change it up, but stay consistent with your values, stay consistent with your brand.
So it's like that, finding that sweet spot between predictability, but then also like a little
surprise, like, what's it going to be today? Keep them on their toes.
Okay, so we got to keep them on their toes. We got to respect their time.
Respect their time, yeah.
Give them, really clear calls to action.
Clear calls to action, yes. And remember, a call to action doesn't always have to be about making a purchase. It can be as simple as hit reply and tell me what you think about this.
What do you think?
Right. Start a conversation, because at the end of the day, it's about human connection. We're not building email lists. We're building communities.
I love that. Communities.
Right. Don't be afraid to let your personality shine through in your emails. Be authentic, be engaging, and most importantly, be human.
Okay, this has been an amazing deep dive.
Yeah.
We really went beyond the surface level of like those email marketing hacks, and we really got into the psychology, the strategy, and the art of connecting with your audience through the inbox.
Because it is an art, it's not just a science.
Okay, so before we wrap up, because we've gone over so much.
Yes, we have.
Is there one thing that you would leave our listeners with? Like if they take away one thing from this whole conversation.
One thing. I would say never stop learning. Never stop experimenting, right? Don't be afraid to try new things. A lot of times we get scared, we get in our heads, we're like, oh, is this going to work? What if it doesn't work? What if they hate it? But that's the thing.
Fail fast.
Failure is just a stepping stone to success.
Exactly. So go out there, you amazing email marketers, and try something new. Experiment, learn, grow, and most importantly, have fun connecting with your people. And don't forget to let us know what you're experimenting with. Share your email marketing wins, your challenges, your aha moments with us over on social media using hashtag #DeepDiveEmailHacks. We absolutely love hearing from you.
We'll see you in the next deep dive.
Ready to take your online business to the next level? Subscribe to our digital marketing podcast and then join our Accountability for Success Mastermind. With expert advice from industry leaders, you'll gain knowledge and insights that will help you succeed in today's digital marketing world. From social media strategies to search engine optimization, we have all the tools you need. Learn from successful entrepreneurs and take control of your online success. Join the Accountability for Success Mastermind now at bit.ly/AFSM podcast.